What is going on, everyone? So let me just make sure this is on. Just on. All right, perfect. So it is on. These things the live streams can only go up to 720p quality. What are you gonna do though? Let's see. Oh, we're joined by one person. That's one more than usual. Um, so I haven't live streamed in like a month or so I figured I would give you guys another live stream just so I could, tell you guys with what's been going on and whatnot. So I haven't released it yet, obviously, but I have two specialty videos coming up that I think are special. At least it's top 50 films of the decade for the 2000 to 2009, part one and two. That'll obviously be two videos. I still haven't filmed it yet, but I do plan to do top 25 movies of all time for me. It's something that I'm nervous to do because it's something that changes, from month to month. Also, I filmed my Lars von Trier ranking list, so that will be out probably for the next month or so because I already filmed my Wachowski's ranking list, so that will be out soon. And then with Sergey, who recently you guys will know, he helped me out with collaboration terms with the 2000s Academy Award Best Picture list of the 2000s. Now with that, we collaborated, and I actually know him, so we decided to then collaborate doing James Cameron. So James Cameron is another director that you guys will be seeing me ranking soon. So it is something that for me personally is kind of exciting. Um, and then I also have well, I've been working on my new movie too, my sophomore debut. So it's been a lot. Oh boy. Oh hello there. We got Bleed Green and Paul Logan. What's up, guys? Let me go to my letterbox see what other lists I got for you guys. Oh, I also have my Mulan review, which only reason why I haven't posted just yet is because I literally just threw out a bunch of reviews to you guys like right away. So um I'll be waiting probably the next day or two to give you guys that. But my Mulan review, mostly when I do reviews, I try to keep it 4 or 5 minutes. But not gonna lie, Mulan, I had the urge to talk about for 10 minutes, so should be fun for you guys. Bleed Green. Let's talk politics. Oh boy. Paul Logan, did you go to film school or are you planning on film school? Good question. So I took film classes in college, but I didn't do film school just because of, how pricey it is. Do I plan on doing it? No, because, I'm getting closer to 30 than 20. So it's like one of those situations where it would be like a lot of money. My one friend went to film school and he actually helped me out with Incisor. And when he told me how expensive it was, I'm like, oh, geez, man. And it's also one of those things where it's difficult to get in the industry on your own. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Bleed Green. I went to film school. Yeah, I bet you did. Paul Logan, politics be political. Yeah. Bleed Green. Good observation. What can I say? So this is called Olipop, which supports digestive health. It looks like a soda, but it's not. It has 9 grams of fiber, which is probably about as much fiber as Americans get daily. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, you guys got me off topic. Let me check my letterbox to give you guys a little bit of breakdown of what else I'm going to be doing. Um, Paul Ogachev, you getting the sponsors? You should see my new movie. My new movie has like so many things that like I'm just like advertising. Half of which I don't even drink. I mean, obviously this one I do for this live stream, but all the other stuff that I'm like advertising for my next movie, like none of it I drink. It's just other people in the cast that do. Um, Oh yeah, I almost forgot my 2010's Academy Award Best Picture winners rank list. I collaborate with LC Screen Talk. We actually filmed it like 2 months ago. We were waiting for Misfit Pond though, which he was a little late to film his. But LC Screen Talk and I we collaborated 2 months ago, so we'll be releasing that pretty soon, and then I'll probably do top 10 Academy Award Best Picture winners all together. Um, Bleed Green be getting their sponsors. I don't know, man. I'm a beast. Yeah. Bleeds Green, Trump or Biden? I don't know, man. I don't know. Who are you voting for? I'm assuming Trump. Excuse me. He probably did on live stream. What are you gonna do? Oh, so where is it? Where is it? Um, I might do Brian Singer's films ranked. Should stir the pot. Also, and I'm probably gonna lose like 100 followers for doing this, but I'm gonna be reviewing the movie Cuties pretty soon. I haven't seen it just yet, but I do feel like I should watch it because I always like a good controversial movie, and I don't even really know what it's about. I know vaguely, so I'm curious, but yeah. Um, Paul Logan, planning on going to film school, but I'm scared everyone there will be. I want to be. Yeah, that's usually like film snobbery. Bleed green. I'm voting for Chad actually. Oh jeez. Chad and Paul 2020. Cuties was a controversial Netflix one, right? Yeah, it is. I was actually gonna watch it while I was editing, but I instead just put on the other guys because I don't want to watch like a foreign movie when I'm editing because then I can't pay attention. But a movie like the other guys, like you can just put on and it's like you can just enjoy it. Um, Paul Logan, Trump, you really orange though. Wait, you vote Trump? If Trump boy buying a picture, don't vote. No, I wasn't saying I vote for Trump. I was saying I'm sure Bleed Green votes for Trump. I don't personally. You know, my politics have changed though. I can't lie. 4 years ago, I did make a mistake. So, but we live and learn, right? Um, no, film school though. That's one of those things where, like I said, I couldn't really imagine doing it. And the reason why I say that is because like school in general like was really difficult for me. Like I have a difficult time like studying, and it's like you know me making my own projects, like I'm in control of everything. So like I'm learning as I go along. Like at Sizer, I learned a lot, especially in terms of like sound mixing, dubbing, ADR. Like you just learn a lot, and sometimes I feel like you kind of have to do hands on before doing that. So I don't know, Paul Logan. I'm gonna do it for 3 seconds. Oh boy, it's just gonna leave bleed green in myself. Don't leave, Paul. How dare you? Oh, jeez. Um. Oh man. JK, it's you and me, Shad. I don't know. Right now, I see 3 people. So there's 2 other people. Well, unless Paul Logan hasn't left, that would leave just one other person. And they just, I guess, they're just watching instead of responding. You're all 3. Okay, so you're a bot. I know it. So, Bleed Green, I don't think I ever asked you. How did you find my channel? Like, what got you interested in subscribing? I'm watching my computer phone. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I'm going Litterbox. Oh, I'll also be The Devil All the Time. I'll also be reviewing that soon. I just saw that yesterday. Um, so I still got to film the review and edit a little bit, and then I'll obviously give that to you guys. But I'll say right now, it was interesting. Slow start, but it was interesting. Um, Bleed Green. I found your channel on YouTube and then clicked on the live stream, and yeah, that's how I got interested. Interesting. I didn't know how it was work. I guess that would make sense how Parasite, because my Parasite live reaction to look at winning Best Picture, they got like 1,000 views, which I was like, holy cow, I got 1,000 views just by doing a live stream. Meanwhile, here it's like all of my other live streams, it's like I'll usually get like 5, 10 people watching, which for me that's fine. But then it's like Parasite, it was just kind of like 1,000. I was like, holy cow, what the heck? But I'm glad I recorded that because I was not expecting that. Like I predicted Parasite to win Best Picture, but I didn't think it was actually going to win because for like 7 years I predicted everything wrong in terms of like Best Picture. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? I feel like my live streams it's always like the first 10, 20 minutes, everyone's a little coy, and then people start joining in, and it's like, oh yeah, there's the questions. Um, Bleed Green. Actually, you. I know you IRL though, but you have figured out who I am. Though. Bleed Green. You will be shocked when you figure out who I am. Well, how am I supposed to figure out who you are? That's like the director, setting up two acts, and the third act, it's like, oh, can't find footage. It's like, well, it doesn't really leave any shock room. It's like if M Night Shyamalan with The Sixth Sense, literally, shows actually that's different. Never mind. That's a bad example. What's a film that literally relies on the plot twist? Can't think of anything. Sixth Sense is a bad example of it because, in my opinion, The Sixth Sense holds up without the twist. The twist is great; it's an added bonus, but the twist it adds to it. Never mind. You get my gist, though. Bleed Green. I am making a movie. Bleed Green. I am making a movie. It's called Inside. I feel like I should know who you are, but there's 23 people involved with Incisor, so now if you were saying your current movie, that would kind of like leave it to the only person in my current movie that would be like Jeff, but the current movie I'm working on is only like 5 people. That's it. That stuff's good. I wasn't in your movie. Oh, I don't know who you are then. Unless you're like a fellow YouTuber. Well, I looked you up. Couldn't find you. Ah, so you're on the internet, but that means you're private, which is fine. I guess it's the guessing game. I guess I should have called this live stream the guessing game of who Bleed Green is. And I don't want to say what my new movie is on here. Yes, the mystery continues. Well, what the heck. Paul Logan, I'm back. Yeah, Paul Logan. Bleed Green was giving me some clues, but I tried to explain to him that, if you don't give the answer, then it's like the mystery continuing. It just kind of gets repetitive. I'm trying to explain to him, a twist only works if you actually reveal it. Bleed Green, Paul. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Bleed Green reminds me of every friend I've ever had. Oh, geez, is that a good thing? Um, Oh, there was a movie you saw recently, actually, that I was like, "Holy cow!" He gave this movie a low rating. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me go on Letterbox. It's my best friend. Uh, Sorry, still looking. Bleed Green, but this is a movie, so it doesn't need to rely on a plot twist. Yeah, but I like to make the argument that movies reflect life, or vice versa. When you watch a movie, oftentimes it reminds you of certain things that have happened in life. So I guess my next movie, I'll just add in like I'd done a live stream, and I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm not gonna. No, my next movie is it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to say the least to hear people's thoughts. Um, Bleed Green. Does SpongeBob reflect life? I honestly don't know. I didn't really watch SpongeBob as a kid, which I know is like sacrilegious to say. God forbid someone didn't watch SpongeBob, but I didn't really watch SpongeBob. So I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes, and I was in filmmaking in high school. And I suppose there's some reflections. I mean, SpongeBob, is someone that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. I mean, why else would he be so popular? Um, and I feel like that says a lot about just people in general. It's like because people watch things oftentimes to reflect with themselves. I look at it at least. Sorry, I'm still looking. Oh, Paul Logan, yeah, Shawshank Redemption. I was like, what the heck? I was like 3 out of 5 stars, and same with Jarhead. I was like, what the heck? I was like, what was that? I was like, someone don't like my boy Roger Deakins shot movies. What's going on here? 1 million subscribers. Ahoy! Yes. Jacob Stanfield. Yes, another Letterbox subscriber. Also gives some controversial opinions. I love it. Um, Paul Logan, do you buy screenplays for influence? No, I don't. I just like all of you. I watch a lot of movies, so because I watch a lot of movies, I just come up with like a lot of ideas. Sometimes it just really sticks. Like I think I said this in one of my live streams. Like when I did Incisor, like Uncut Gems, Joker, watching the TV show, those were stuff that really influenced me. And even doing this next movie, those influences also kind of progressed to this next one. So I come up with like an idea, and then oftentimes I'll expand on it. And I personally believe in just doing like I know that this is something that again, if you were in film school, it'd be like a big no-no, but I believe in having like an outline, like in-depth outline with what's going to happen and everything, and then you work from there because especially when you're working with friends or just in general, it's like things happen, situations happen. So it's like if you have like a really really tight thing and everything is just kind of like flowing, then it's like a lot of times I personally feel like things happen and then it's like you gotta situate things because I mean in Sizer, if I didn't have it structured the way that I did, I don't think I would have gotten it finished. With the pandemic and everything. So good question then. Well, many subscribers, no videos, not much. I got you, man. Bleed Green, Point Improvement, SpongeBob, Doe, and Reflect Life. No, I'm Reflect Life. I agree to disagree. Um, Paul Logan, Jacob really is a dog though. Paul Logan, Shawshank really cliched and checked out my rating system really harsh. Um, but Shawshank was actually the movie that influenced, all the other movies that you might have seen, which I get. I always tell people it's like sometimes you'll see like an older movie and you're like, oh, that's cliche. But it's like, yeah, but if it's the first of something, is it actually cliche? Or is it cliche from the perspective of the individual that has seen all the movies that were influenced, I should say, by said movie? That's how I look at least. Like if you were to watch Seven, you'd be like, oh, that's a cliche murder mystery. It's like, no, it really isn't. It's what set the standards 25 years now. So that's just my opinion. I mean, of course, if someone doesn't like Shawshank that much, I get it. Bleed Green. I've only watched 7 movies in my life, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Paul Logan Jarhead as well shop really cheesy. Really? I thought it was actually like when I saw it, was it like 4 or 5 years ago? When I saw it, I remember like liking it. I remember at first liking it, but then also kind of having this pit feeling of like, why isn't there any action? By the end, I realized I was like, that's the director's intention. He's trying to get you to understand that it's like not all the times in a war film there's going to be nonstop action. Sometimes it's just like a character study. Maybe I'll rewatch it, but when I saw it, I did like it. Um, Paul Logan Cash is awesome. Still need to watch it. Um, I heard that it's good. Bleed Green. Also, I know I just come on here and troll, but I do actually like the show. Oh, thanks, man. Jacob Stanfield, yeah. Well, many subscribers in the videos. What is your letterbox, Paul? Jacob Stanfield. Who knew that French thriller isn't an oxymoron? Bleed Green. I just got bored and debate and disagree, just debate and disagree. To be honest, I actually agree with you and love the channel, bro. Oh, thanks, man. I get that. I feel like some people would say the same about me. That I just like to debate for debating purposes, but that's not actually the case. I just have strong views, and I always like to hear other people, being able to expand on them. 1 million subscribers. What is your favorite fantasy movie? If you had asked me 5 years ago, I would say Lord of the Rings, like any one of them, specifically Return of the King. But now, hands down, Pan's Labyrinth. Love that movie. Paul Logan, Alcoholic Peppa Pig. Yep, that's him. Yeah, Paul Logan's good. I like him on Letterbox. There's a lot of interesting viewpoints, which I always like. When I follow people back, I always like to see their unique perspectives, and I definitely read them. Um, my subscribers minus D12. Yep, Bleed Green. It's all good. I debate behind the screen just to troll. You're awesome. Uh, I always love talking with you. This whole thing was just a troll for entertainment. LOL. Well, Blade Green, now you got to tell us. So who are you, man? Jacob Stanfield, what do you think is the best jump scare in film? Mine is the sloth in Seven. Oof. Well, first of all, the slaw scene that you mentioned, that that scene is amazing. That is one of my favorite scenes of all time. The whole SWAT, getting suited up, and then just the score by Howard Shore during that scene, and just it all connecting to that scene. Oh, it's amazing. To answer your question, the slaw scene might be my number one, but there's also Insidious, the scene with the Darth Maul scene. That one I think is really good. I'm trying to think. Jump scare movies I'm usually not a big fan of. The Conjuring, again, kind of a spoiler for Conjuring, but The Conjuring, the scene where there's like the dresser and the camera just like tilts up and it quickly pans in to like that I think it was like the Sheba or whatever, as like stuff like that really gets under my skin. It's like the imagery that freaks me out. So I would say probably either The Conjuring, Seven again is up there. Oh, Pan's Labyrinth. The Pan's Labyrinth, the scene with the Pale Man, where he just like puts the eyes in his hands and he goes like this and he goes running. That scene to this day, holy cow, it holds up so well. So I don't have an exact favorite, but I have many favorites. Pan's Labyrinth is also my favorite finish. It's amazing. Pan's Labyrinth, I don't understand. One of my really good friends doesn't like Pan's Labyrinth, and I really don't understand it because I, like you, think it's a masterpiece. Bleed Green. I am Bleed Green. Yeah, but that's not on your, it's not on your social, is it? 1 million subscribers. My favorite jump scare is the vent scene in Alien. Ooh, that's a really good one. That one I always forget about, which is honestly a good thing because every time I watch Alien, I forget about it, so I'm always surprised again when I see that. Um, Paul Logan, thanks, Chad. Letterbox is good because if you don't have friends that are in the film, you can just chat on data. That's true. Although I can't lie, I'm pretty bad at like commenting and everything. Like sometimes I'll want to, like I'll want to comment sometimes. And like I said, I did want to actually say something on about your thoughts on like Shawshank, but like so many times by the time I like read people's reviews, there's already like 5 to 10 comments, and I'm like, well, I'm sure that they've probably said like already what I want to, and oftentimes they do. Like when I read the comments, so um, lead green, guess Chad, guess now. I dare you. There are no scary scenes in movies. I never get scared. Well, yeah, it's because you've only seen 7 movies. Remember? You know, I can't guess. I don't know. 1 million subscribers. The Joker footage in Dark Knight. That scene was really good. Actually, even before that, like when the mayor's like talking to Harvey Dent and he's like just casually talking to him and then he looks out the window and then the body slams. That scene's really good too. That really got me the first time. I don't know if that was because I was 14 or if it was effective, but I still have that in my mind about that. And again, at this point, I've seen The Dark Knight like at least 2 dozen times, so I don't know if it's that. Bleed Green, good point. Jacob Stanford, I would say the baby scene, Transpotting, and the final third of Sunshine. Yeah, Transpotting is a movie that I've seen a couple times and I love it. I really dig Danny Boyle, and it's funny you mentioned 2 Danny Boyle movies. I also Sunshine's interesting. I like it. I own it on Blu-ray, so I do think it's underrated. But I do think that the editing and the cinematography towards the end are a very mixed bag. I think that could have worked, but I do think that there were some odd choices that I just did not think worked for me personally. But someone might like Sunshine and then might not like Trance because Trance is another movie that seems to get mixed responses. But I still like Sunshine. Don't get me wrong. I get your opinion. Paul Logan. Yeah, I don't scare often. Pretty much only movies that resonate with me. I've only got 8 films that I rate 5 out of 5. Um, only 8 films. Dang. Yeah. See, for me personally, it's like I don't get me wrong, like I've given eight movies, like more than 8 movies. Like for me, I've given 70 movies a 5 out of 5. But also keep in mind, I've vlogged 1,030. So I mean you do the math. That means for every let me do the math right now, just to give you guys that. So that means pretty much like 7% of the movies I've seen, like that I've seen on Letterbox, I gave that rating. So I think that's pretty low, and I think that's safe. I'd rather give movies 7%, like a 5 out of 5, than like every movie. You know what I'm saying? Um, Bleed Green. Those 7 movies were actually all horror movies, and I got 10 out of 10 scare factor and never got scared scars. Which movies were them? I'm Unfazed, toughest person on the planet. I have no fear. Haha. Um, Jacob Stanford. I like the ending, but it was weird. Yeah. Uh, that's the thing. Like again, filmmaking is subjective, and I don't want to say like it was terrible. I just thought it was very like wonky for me a little bit. But I still like what they were going for. Like the fact that it turned from a sci-fi movie into like horror. Like it was intriguing. Paul, what's the best Kubrick movie? My favorite is The Moon Landing, Stolen Joke. Oh, that's funny. Gotta love sharing the jokes. No, I do think that's funny. In all seriousness, on my ranking list, I have The Shining, but it might be 2001: A Space Odyssey now. I don't know. Those three, I even said it in my ranking list, though. The top three Kubrick spots, it changes daily. I love all three equally. Bleed Green was Harmony One and Sound. Haha. Jacob Stanfield, my favorite is Clockwork Orange. Love that movie. Still waiting for it to get a 4K release. But what are you gonna do, right? Bleed Green, my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie is A Clockwork Orange. Yeah, if you only seen 7 movies, Clockwork Orange isn't horror. I guess maybe it's that one movie that wasn't horror. Whatever. Paul Logan, I'm reading Clockwork Orange. Yeah, my girlfriend read it. She said that it was pretty accurate, although she did say that the ending was changed, like the book to the movie. She told me what the book ending was, and I personally like the ending to the movie better. But again, I didn't read it, so I can't really say for sure. But like from what I like, again heard, I think I like the movie version better, and I do think that Clockwork Orange inspired a lot of movies to come. Like a Clockwork Orange and The Master, it's going to sound strange, but I think of those 2 movies a lot in terms of like, having those characters where the character starts out, changes, but then reverts back to their old self the way most humans do. So I thought that was intriguing. Bleed Green Chat, are you mad at me? I'm sorry if you are. Let's be friends. I don't get mad easily. I really don't. Um, the many subscribers in the videos, Bleed Green is being a troll now. He's been a troll. He's been a troll since he's gotten on my channel. Paul Logan plot twist. He was always the troll. There we go. Bleed Green. How do you know I'm a he? Don't assume gender. That's a good point. That's a good point. I shouldn't assume your gender, but I'm pretty sure in one of the live streams you did say that you were a he. Woman describes in the videos redundant. Much bleed. Yeah, that's a good point. Oh boy. Bleed, greed, bleed, greed. What are we gonna do with you? Jacob Sanford, do you plan on doing UE bowl ranking? I wasn't planning to. I usually when I focus on like a director, I've like seen their work. I haven't seen any of his work. I'm not gonna lie. In the Name of the Father, when that movie came out, what was it? Like 10 years ago. I wanted to see it, and I almost bought it actually at Walmart, like on a whim, like 10 years ago, but I didn't pick it up. And then years later, I started paying attention to Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, oh, 2% rating. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't pick this up. And I just haven't like I hear about him. I heard he got banned on Letterbox, so he does seem interesting, especially since he said Lord of the Rings was terrible, but he made it In the Name of the Father, which apparently is terrible. So no, I'm not planning to. I said earlier, I could say it again with the ones that I am planning to do. So I have. If you go on my letterbox, you'll probably see that I have like 40, 50 lists. I actually have 99 lists. It's because I'm constantly working my way through like these directors. So like right now, what's up on the queue is Lars von Trier, James Cameron. Those two are going to be out. I already filmed them. 2010's ranking list that will be out soon. Cameron Crowe, I'm working my way. I've seen 6 out of his 8 movies. Catherine Bigelow, 5 out of 10. Still have 5 more to go. John Lee Hancock, which is probably going to get like 20 views, if that. But I personally think he's kind of intriguing of a director. I've seen 4 out of his 6 Wachowski sisters. I've seen all of their work, filmed that video that will be coming out soon. Bryan Singer, which I know is someone that many people don't like. I'm not going to give my thoughts on him, but I will be filming a video of his, with his movies. My Matthew Vaughn film ranking that just came out. Actually, I got to make that public, that list right now. I'm going to do that right now. That one got like 20 views. I honestly was like, oh, maybe people like know who Matthew Vaughn is. Apparently not. Mike Flanagan, I've seen 5 out of his 7 movies. Got to watch his other 2. Yorgos Lanthimos, I have one more of his movies to watch. Alexander Payne, one more. Guillermo del Toro, one more. Paul Greengrass, one more. Bong Joon Ho, one more. Kevin Smith, 2 more. Nicholas Winding Refn, one more. Alejandro GNR2, one more. Spike Lee, 9 more. And then Richard Linklater, I almost forgot about him, 2 more. And Denis Villeneuve, one more. And a bunch more. So that basically my point is that I'm working through like all these directors, and it's a lot, but it's fun. See, let me go up. Sorry, fell a little behind. Hello, gender neutral comma. Interesting. You plan to do? Wait. I'm a 1% by all films. Okay, at the point. I'm a 1% by. Oh my goodness. Bill is the worst director to ever live. I can imagine. Do more live streams soon. I should. I enjoy doing them, because I figure that you guys enjoy them. So I was like, yeah, why not? Ever hear of John Whitesell? No. Should I have? Let me look up John Whitesell. Television and film director. He's directed the Big Mama movies. That's probably why. I think I saw Big Mama's. Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son, I think it's called. I saw that like a little bit of that like 9 years ago, and I remember not liking it. Lee Green, that's me. You guys guessed it. I am John Whitesell. What? John Milholland, are you a fan of animation at all? Yes. I like animation, but obviously I'll watch it like when it's in theaters. But my collection in terms of movies, I don't have too many animated movies. Just to give you a general idea, I think I could probably count the amount of animated movies I own on my hands. I own the actually maybe a little bit more. I own the Toy Story quadrilogy, um, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Spider-Man Into the Universe, Isle of Dogs. What else? I think that might be it actually. I can think of off the top of my head. So I like animation, just I don't love them. One subscribers, yes. John Stanfield, Big Mama's House trilogy, over Lord of the Rings, Godfather, Cornetto. Oh, come on. My goodness. I know you're trolling. Into the Spider-Verse, LOL. Oh, you don't like Into the Spider-Verse? I think that movie's great. I remember watching the movie, I was like, holy cow. Like, I remember seeing that movie, and I thought it was going to be like, eh. Like, obviously critics, you got to try not to be biased, but I went into that movie thinking it was going to be like, eh. And, the power of filmmaking just kind of overwhelmed me, and I was like, wow, this is actually a good movie. On that bad boy in 4K. John Mulholland, see Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah, I've seen Grave of the Fireflies. I thought it was solid. Not as depressing as people thought it was, but I guess I'm just cold and jaded. No, you said Into the Universe. Oh, my mistake. I love Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, it's a great movie. Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man film. Absolutely agree. I think that movie really took everyone by surprise. I remember watching the animation, like the trailer, and I just wasn't really sure about it. And then I watched the movie, and I was like, "Wow, this is This is original entertainment. This is a movie you can take the whole family to see, and it's just everyone's gonna have a good time. Of course, they're making a sequel though. Lovely, right? Um, Bleed Green. Have you seen Looper? Yes. Actually, I own Looper. I like that movie. I really do. 1 million subscribers. What do you think is the worst movie trilogy ever? I think it's the DED trilogy. What's the DED trilogy? I'm terrible with acronyms, so bear with me. Worst trilogy ever. Um. Oh, jeez. I don't know to be honest. I feel like a lot of franchises go past 3 movies for me to be able to say that. I don't know honestly. Let me see. Oh, DED trilogy, date movie, epic movie, and disaster movie. I haven't seen any of those 3. I try to stay away from spoof movies, but I have seen a couple. Oh, I actually sorry. I'm looking these through. Um, so some of these I've only seen like one of these movies, but the original, not the original Star Wars, the prequel trilogy is pretty bad. The Hobbit trilogy I also don't like, so I'd say one of those. The Matrix trilogy has some merits. Especially like the action, but in terms of it aging well, I don't think it has. Uh, you like Toy Story? Yeah, I like Toy Story. Actually, I like all 4, so I own them. And for me, it's my favorite's probably the third, but second place is the fourth. I think the fourth is actually really good. John Mulholland, Madagascar. I can dig that. Madagascar I thought was okay. Um, Lee Green, Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. Lord of the Rings, hands down. The Hobbit trilogy just didn't sit well with me. John Mulholland, worst trilogy ever. Yeah. First Madagascar was bomb. After that was bad. Yeah, I think I saw all of the first one, and I think the other couple I saw bits and pieces at like the dentist office. Interesting dentist office, I know, but I like it. John Mulholland, I don't care for any of that schlock. That's fair enough. Jacob Stanford, I would say Human Centipede. Oh yeah, I still haven't seen that movie. I feel like I should. That would be an interesting live stream, me watching that movie and reacting to it. Oh, Jacob Sanford on the Look Who's Talking trilogy. I don't think I've seen that one either. Bleed Green. What do you think of Coraline? Coraline, I think solid. I like stop motion. I love claymation, particularly. Like claymation for me is just it's something special, man. Not many companies do it, unfortunately. I think that's why I like Missing Link so much. Um, I thought that movie was very entertaining. Um, Paul and Coraline is awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of people that think it's awesome. I think it's solid. I love it. Um, Sam Raymond, are you a fan of Gaspar Noé? Good question. So, I've seen 3 out of his 5 movies. I will be ranking his movies once I've seen Love, and I forget the name of the other one. It was like his first movie. I think Gaspar Noé has a vision every time that he does a movie, and I think that he garners reactions that I don't know if I'm a big fan of. I do want to rewatch Climax, before I actually finish, watching all his movies and like then rank them because the Climax is the one I think I could see myself rewatching. At least now, like Enter the Void, I'm not gonna watch again. I will say, in terms of endings, it did surprise me. There was one shot in that movie that I was like, holy cow, that I've never seen that before in a I guess a non-pornographic movie is what I should say. But I guess I guess he's a fine director. I don't know. My thoughts on him right now are mixed. I've seen half of his movies. I feel mixed about him. I respect him, but from afar, if that makes sense. Um, Let me see. Oh, I'm a little far behind. One of the best movies ever made. I just got Look Who's Talking Now, and that's by far the best. Haven't seen that one. Oh, and I'm back. Yes. Coraline was surprisingly better than expected, and it kept my attention. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoy it. Jacob Stanfield, you should watch Human Centipede Children by eating chocolate ice cream. I don't know, man. I don't know. I made the mistake. What was it? Around Christmas time, I watched the Nymphomaniac movies back to back. That was interesting. I was eating too. I even told myself not to, but I was eating while watching. That was interesting. We all make mistakes. I still haven't seen Salo. What's it called? Salo, 120 Days of Torture, or it's something like that. I might watch that at some point. Um, Paul Logan. Well, I watched Coraline at a young age, so it resonated with me well. I get that. A lot of people, that's how it is. Like with certain movies that they saw when they were younger. Um, I completely get that. Um, John Milhan, have you seen any of the TIFF movies that came out as part of Virtual Festival? There's quite a few I'm excited to see in the future. I have not. I've actually been a bit behind in terms of watching like newer movies. Um, I think a lot of it just has to do with I personally like if we want to talk about debatable topics. Um, I'm more about the theater experience, and when I go to the movies, I always do like a doubleheader because I'm like I'm already there, so I know I can force myself to watch like one or two, and possibly even three movies. But when it's streaming and there's so many streaming services, it's just kind of difficult. Some of the movies on TIFF I've heard vaguely about, but I haven't watched any trailers pretty much at all during this whole quarantine and pandemic. So like I'm out of the loop, unfortunately. I know I should be, but what do you think of When the Game Stands Tall? I actually haven't seen that movie. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it looked like eh. 1 minute subscribers. What do you think is the best trilogy ever made? It's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Um, Lord of the Rings trilogy's up there. Dark Knight trilogy, 100% is up there, top three for me. Bourne trilogy's up there as well. Actually, it might be the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm trying to think. I don't know. That's a good question. I like the Before trilogy too. I think that movie trilogy is amazing. I don't know, man. That's a good question. You guys ask good questions. Um, John Mahan, are you in on Trial of the Chicago Seven? Oh, I'm very excited for that movie. I didn't even see the trailer. On my subscription feed, I saw that the trailer came out, and I was like, I literally just clicked on it, looked for the date with when it's coming out. And I'm like, all right, because that was in my top 10 most anticipated movies of this year. I like Aaron Sorkin, huge fan of his, and I love the cast as well. I don't even really know what it's about, but as soon as you hear Aaron Sorkin for myself, I'm like, I'm in. Um, see, Raymond, what are your two favorite Aronofsky movies? Actually, I have my ranking list for that. My ranking list came out, I think it was a year ago. I think my two favorite are I know Requiem for Dreams number one, hands down, and my number two might be Black Swan. I believe it's Black Swan, which I love. Yeah, I think that's my number two. But I love, absolutely love all of Aronofsky's work. Um, Paul Logan, Black Swan would be kind of bad though. Don't hurt me. Why don't you like Black Swan? I think Black Swan's really well crafted. John Mulholland, best director of the '80s. Ooh, of the '80s. I don't know. See, the thing is, a lot of those directors like are still working today, so it's kind of like I don't know. That's kind of difficult. Um, Louis Green, I don't want to do homework. Nobody wants to do homework, especially since the Eagles probably lost. I didn't watch the game, but I heard the Eagles probably didn't win. Um, Woman Cigars. I would have said Godfather trilogy with their one so much. I actually still haven't seen the third Godfather. I know I should. I own the trilogy. I actually watched part one a while back, like right, no, right as quarantine was happening 6 months ago. I saw the first Godfather in preparation because I was going to show my girlfriend part two. But we still haven't got around to watching part two. But once I watch part two, I'll definitely watch part three. Um, Jacob Stanfield, who would you consider to be the worst actors? So every actor, I give the benefit of the doubt. I try to at least, but there is one actor that I just do not like, and that's Vin Diesel. I really, really do not like Vin Diesel at all. So the fact that my last movie that I saw in theaters before the pandemic hit was a Vin Diesel movie made me all the more enraged because in my mind I was like theaters might not come back, and my last movie that I saw was a Vin Diesel movie. What the heck? Like why? So I'm happy that theaters are back. I'm happy that I got to see Tenet a couple times as well as Unhinged. I am planning to see New Mutants on Wednesday. Um, and besides that, again, every actor I think has their ups and downs. Like you look at Kristen Stewart. I didn't like her in Twilight movies or the Charlie's Angel movies, but I do think that she is a very talented actress when given the right role. Like in Still Alice, she was good. Um, John Mahal, in my opinion, the '80s is a tough decade for smart movies. Yeah, I mean the '80s was more about popcorn munching movies, which I get, but there were definitely some standout movies. Like Amadeus, hands down, is one of the best of the '80s. And even popcorn munching movies, I do think Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Back to the Future. I do think that those type of movies do hold up very well, and I do think that they work with what they're going for, which is always good. Um, Shane Raymond, what is the most intense movie you've ever seen? Ooh, that's a good question. I can't say for sure what is my most intense, but in terms of most intense experiences, Requiem for a Dream is definitely up there. The Raid 2, that was intense, in terms of action. The Wailing, that movie was really intense for me. I saw that for the first time last October, and that movie really stuck with me. I'm trying to think what else. That's a good question. Paul, my least favorite actors. Oh, get out of town. Your least favorite actor is Daniel Day-Lewis. He's amazing. Um, Jacob Stanford, um, Matthew Broderick is the worst actor. I really don't like Matthew Broderick. I think he's good. He was in Manchester by the Sea for a little bit. I think he's good. I would say Vin Diesel and Dwayne. Dwayne Johnson's not an actor. He's a star, and I think as a movie star he works. I like him a lot better than Vin Diesel. Full Metal Jacket is good. Full Metal Jacket I think has an amazing first half, and then I think the second act. Well, it's not the second act. Second half, I think it kind of dips in quality for me personally. Like I'll watch the first half any day. The second half, it feels kind of like route in terms of a war movie. And The Shining is a good easy one. That's true. The Shining is amazing. What else? The Thing. Thing was amazing. Um, My Left Foot. Dead Poet Society. I think actually one of y'all, I think on here actually didn't like Dead Poet Society or gave it like a 3 out of 5, and I was like, what the heck? Um, these was a great time for movies. Yep. John Mulholland, I think Vin Diesel is good at what he does, but extremely limited. He's only done the Dominic Toretto character, and that's about it. Yeah, true. Paul Hogan, I was joking. I know, man. I'm just messing with you. Sean Raymond, Uncut Gems or Good Time, which is better? Ooh, that's a good question. I love them both. I own both. I would say Uncut Gems is a little bit better, but I still love both, and I think that they both work with what they're going for. John Mulholland, yes. Um, 1 million subscribers, no videos, but the '90s was the best decade for film. I can definitely see that. The '90s was amazing in terms of like movies. I like Vin Diesel in Iron Giant and Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, he doesn't really have much to do. Like I feel like any of us could have done that. Like I don't feel like there was much. I don't know. Paul Logan. Oh, Paul Logan's getting that heat. There Will Be Blood is one of my few 5-star movies and my fourth favorite movie. I was joking. I absolutely love that movie. Nicolette Peltekas. Hey, yes, Nicolette. John Mahan. Are you a fan of musicals, especially Hollywood originals like Moulin Rouge, Greatest Showman? Moulin Rouge, I saw. What was it, like 5, 6 years ago? I liked it. I thought it was a bit too flashy, but I did like it overall. The editing is it's very rapid. It's overwhelming almost. And Greatest Showman, I think, is it's enjoyable, but I do think that there are a lot of issues with it. But I remember seeing it in theaters like what was it 3 years ago and enjoying it. Let me see, Sean Raymond. What do you think of Harmony Korine in his films? So the Beach Bum. The beach film I actually saw with Nicolette Peltekis. Um, we saw that in theaters. I actually enjoy it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty funny. And Spring Breakers, I don't think is a bad movie. I think that the first time I saw it, I think I just kind of was given into like people saying that it was bad. But now I watched it. I watched it in preparation for the beach film, and I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's actually enjoyable. It has Cliff Martinez giving a great score. The performances are fine. I mean, James Franco gives a very fun performance. Is it a bit repetitive? For sure, but that's Harmony's style. I haven't seen his other movies though. I feel like maybe I should. Um, where am I? Jacob Stanford. I hate Corona with the Passion. That's fair. I know a lot of people that do. Well, many subscribers. Oh, I drink the whole milkshake. Yeah, I love that. Nicolette Peltex. I'm finally watching your live streams. LOL. Yeah, I know. Live streams are awesome, Nicolette. You should be on my next live stream. I'm gonna have a petition for everyone to say Nicolette Peltek is to be on my live stream. Be amazing on it. Paul Hogan, what do you think of Michael Haneke? I don't think I've seen any of his work. I've been meaning to. Like I have the piano teacher on like USB drive and everything. I haven't seen his movies though. I don't really think piano teacher and a lot of the others movies are on my list though. Um, Tom Collins, what do you think of Snatched by Guy Ritchie? I enjoyed it. I don't really remember it much, but I saw it like 6 years ago. Keep in mind, but I remember enjoying it. John Mulholland. Have you seen John Carpenter movies? Yeah, I've seen a couple, a handful. I've seen what was it, Prince of Darkness? Yeah, Prince of Darkness, The Thing, which I love. The Thing, as I already mentioned, Halloween. I like. I don't love, but I like. But I haven't seen too many. It's like that's a project off to the side that I know I gotta watch. Like he's done like 20 some movies, so it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I should do a ranking list of his, but it's a lot, man. Sean Raymond, what do you think of Nicholas Winding reference direction in his last few films? Oh, good question. So I'm gonna save a lot of my thoughts on reference for when I do my ranking list. I only have one more of his movies to watch, then I'll do that ranking list. Um, I think that post Only God Forgives because I actually love Only God Forgives, which I know was it Jacob Stanfield. I know recently saw and he absolutely hated it. I like Refn. I liked him in that mid part of his filmography. I think that Drive, Only God Forgives are really good stuff. I think that The Neon Demon is a movie that when I saw it in theaters, I saw it with my girlfriend, and I remember afterwards I just had like this gut feeling. I was like, I shouldn't have shown it to her, but I didn't know what it was really about going into it. And I was just afterwards, I was just kind of I didn't really have my thoughts together, but I still reviewed it, and then I decided to rewatch it like 6 months ago, and I still just I don't know. I think it's a style over substance movie. Like I didn't really get much out of it. I love the score. I love the way it's shot, but I didn't really get much out of it. I think that the scenes at the end that are like trying to push the boundaries are kind of interesting, but also kind of fall flat. Unfortunately, I don't know. Paul, like my man Chad follows more people on Letterboxd. I got more followers than you, Ella. Well, keep in mind, I've had let's see, Letterboxd. I've had for technically almost 3 years, but I didn't get into it really until my friend Eric he's like, "Hey, you ever heard about Letterboxd?" I was like, "Yeah, I have it, but I don't really know what to do with it." And when he got, I started following him, and then I just started gradually getting Letterboxd followers because I started getting into it. I was like, "This is great." I was like, instead of logging it on my phone, I would literally have like a list of movies I've seen. I'm like, you can literally put it on an app and it's saved for you. It's awesome. Paul and bro, flexing. I'm just messing with you. All right, I'm gonna go now. Yeah, it's fine, Paul. You're good, man. You're good. 1 million subscribers. James Cameron has barely anything to do with Piranha 2. He was fired 10 days after being hired for the movie. True, but I'm sticking with my guidelines. If it says directed by James Cameron, I'm doing it. It's just like Zack Snyder. When I did my Zack Snyder ranking list, everyone was like, "Oh my goodness, he actually didn't direct like Justice League," and it's like, well, he technically did, and I'm going by the technicalities. So sue me. Um, Tom Collins' favorite monologue ever. Oh boy. Recently I loved I loved William Defoe's monologue in The Lighthouse. That was amazing. Anthony Hopkins' monologue in Amistad. There Be Blood's monologue, Daniel Day Lewis's monologue after the 10-minute scene of there being no dialogue in the very beginning with like explaining with what him and HW do. Like to those other people that were interested in the oil. That was amazing. That might be my favorite. I do love monologues. Um, Jacob Stanfield, I never saw Link After. I thought you did, man. I thought you gave it like a 1 out of 5, and I was like, what the heck? I mean, I know a lot of people that aren't the biggest fan of that movie, but I love that movie. Nicola Peltek, Castillo even wasn't bad from what I remember. I need to rewatch though. Yeah, it's on our Amazon. I rewatched. I was curious. I was like, I'm going to be ranking Refn's movies, and yeah, I remember when we saw that. I was like, when we first started dating, I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, but I don't know why I was like that because I mean, we watched Game of Thrones, so and Neon Demon was pretty tame compared to that. What are you going to do there, right? Um, let me see. John Milhan, can you think of any massive retcon among different movie cuts as infamous as Han shot first thing? Um, Star Wars in general does a lot of retconning. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like it. I mean, they retconned Last Jedi pretty much completely. It's like what the heck? It's like what are you gonna do? Um, I can't think of any other off the top of my head though. I don't like retconning too much. Um, Let me see. Sean Raymond, what do you think of Denis Villeneuve's films? I'm actually ranking his very soon. Um, I like him. I think he's a brilliant director. Jacob Stanfield, what's your letterbox called? Mine? I thought you were following me. What the heck? Mine, I believe, is Chad.Saborin. Let me check again, though. Oh, no, it's just Chad Saborin. So it's my YouTube name, all lowercase, no dots or anything. Skynet Gen, hey, Chad, caught your live stream for Change Hello. Yes, dude, Sergey. I was telling them I already, we filmed both of our parts for obviously James Cameron's movies, and I already have it edited and everything. It's ready to go. I'll probably release it in like a month or so, just so to build the anticipation. 1 million subscribers in videos D12. Maybe I just missed out on that conversation. Shane Raymonds, what do you think of Trey Edward Schultz in his last film, Waves? I think Waves is good. I do think that it does kind of lose steam towards the end. I think that when it shifts into that third act, it does lose momentum. But I will say I respect that movie a lot because it messes with a lot of different aspect ratios. And I think that it was very meaningful with how it did that. So I like that movie overall. I do need to rewatch it though. Um, Tom Collins, is cereal a soup? Oh boy. I don't know. It's called cereal for a reason. uh, John Milhan, I'm so glad Denis Villeneuve is doing Dune and not anyone else. I am too, man. Um, that's a movie that, listen, I'm going to say this right now. I don't care about Wonder Woman 1984. So when I heard that that was taking the place of Dune for coming out this Christmas, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I don't care about the new Wonder Woman. I really don't. I thought the first one was fine, but Dune over Wonder Woman. Come on. I haven't read the book. My girlfriend has. She says it's like Game of Thrones, but like sci-fi. And if that's the case, I'm on board. But I'm a huge fan of Denis Villeneuve. Like the guy that did Blade Runner 2049 is doing another sci-fi movie. I'm sold. The cast looks great. Hans Zimmer's doing the score. I'm on board. That's why it's my number one most anticipated movie of this year. Nicolette Peltek is so excited for Dune. Yep, you read the book. I wonder if you're going to reread it in time for when it comes out. Although we apparently don't know when it's coming out. 1 million subscribers in the videos. Do you have a favorite Tarantino movie? Um, yeah, I have my ranking list for it actually on the channel. Shame Raimi, Blue Valentine or 500 Days of Summer, which is better? Oh boy. I own both of those movies. Uh, I don't know. It really depends on your mood, man. Like I feel like 500 Days of Summer like is a good movie to watch, like if you want laughs and at the same time like have a little bit of thought provoking content. But I think Blue Valentine might be a little bit better because it is very raw in its depiction. Like you really do feel like you're a fly on the wall with this relationship. And I mean, it's Ryan Gosling, Michelle Williams. I love both of them. More so than Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zoe Deschanel or whatever her name is. But I still like that movie. I think that movie's fine. I like them both. Um, Jacob Stanfield, do you have a link for your letterbox? Yeah, on my reviews, I actually for my reviews, I actually have it where I actually have it on every single one of my reviews. I put like the link there. Um, actually, Jacob said, are you Jacob Review 71? I think that might be you. Cereal is more of a stew than a soup. Fair enough. His description, Jacob. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is Raging Bull still your favorite Scorsese movie? That's a surprising pick for me, but it's number four on the AF top. So I guess you're in good company. Why is it the best? Okay, so the Scorsese list. So I feel like that's the one that is like the most controversial, like in terms of like my ranking lists, which is kind of interesting. I did not realize that there were that many Martin Scorsese fanboys. I'm not saying you are, but just in general, there seems to be a lot of people that took my ranking list and like took it as like really really serious. And I like Scorsese, I do. And Raging Bull, I've only seen one time, but it stuck with me. I think that I liked it the best because of that. Do I like it the best now? I don't know. The Departed is my most rewatchable movie of his. I think Raging Bull might still be his best, but I would do the his ranking list a little bit different. But I still would have probably Raging Bull as number one. My goodness, Goodfellas, like people were freaking out when it was like, oh my goodness, it's not even top five. It's like, yeah, that's what opinions are for. John Mahan, what city do you live in, by the way? Uh-oh. Someone wants to know where I live. Um, it would be Pennsylvania, which I guess isn't a city, but you know. Sean Ramis, what are your three favorite cinematographers? Well, you guys follow me on my channel, so you guys probably already know this. I am absolutely terrible with pronouncing names, but I will say Roger Deakins, Emmanuel Lebowitz, whatever his name is, the guy who did like the New World, Tree of Life. Number three, I'm trying to think of my third one. Should be my number third. I can't think of the third off the top of my head, but I know those are my top two in terms of films. Uh oh man, the guy who did There We Blood, he worked with a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I like his work. That might be my third. Yeah, top five movie scores, John Mulholland. Uh, ooh, that's tough. Maybe I should make a list for that. I'll get back to you on that. John Mulholland. I'm a Scorsese fanboy, best living filmmaker in my opinion. My favorite Scorsese film is Shark Tale and Goodfellas. Shark Tale? You didn't do Shark Tale? Hmm. No, I get that. I take that as a compliment. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine to be a Scorsese fanboy. I just think that a lot of times they just kind of take it out of hand, in my opinion, of course. Um, Tom Collin, what are your favorite film scores? My goodness, yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of people want me to say my top five film scores. I can't say just off the cuff on live stream. I would honestly need to because film scores are honestly my biggest thing that I listen to in terms of music. So I do need to sit down and actually like write that out and everything. I should do a video for that. Sean Raymond, Robert Elswit. Yes, that is the guy who did the cinematography for There Be Blood. I like him. I like him a lot. I should have known off the top of my head. Um, Sean Raymond, who is the most overrated film director? Michael Bay. Michael Bay's pretty overrated, I think. Trying to think. Can't really think of any off the top of my head. Trying to think. Besides Michael Bay, uh, I do think Brian Singer's. Well, I guess he's not really rated at this point because like people hate him, which is understandable. But like, I remember always being kind of like bewildered at the fact that he was like a director that people loved. Like, I'm not a big fan of his. I'm literally ranking his movies because I've seen all of his movies pretty much. So I only have one or two that I have to go out of the way to see. Um, Show me what director of films give you the biggest adrenaline rush in theaters? Um, that's a good question. I'd say Nolan films. Nolan films really give me a adrenaline rush. I think that's just because through all the times I've gone to movies, like he's always been there as a director, where like his overpowering like sound mixing really kind of like pumps things up for me. David Fincher films. I unfortunately have only seen like one David Fincher film in theaters. He's my probably favorite director, but I've only seen one of his. So like some of my favorite directors, I haven't really seen their movies in theaters. Unfortunately, that's why I was saying Nolan. Jacob Stefan, I would say Jude Apatow. Judd Apatow, he has a formula. I need to watch all his movies. Actually, you should probably make a list. Let me see. I get not putting Goodfellas as high as some others. It definitely has great entertainment value, but it's really in your face and less subtle or thought provoking. Yeah, man. I mean, I get why so many people have a hard on for Goodfellas. I really do, and I think that it is good. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I watched it once. What was it like 7? Yeah, it was probably like 7 years ago. I watched it once. I thought it was good, and then I put it on like 3 years ago, and I wasn't able to finish it. It wasn't that I thought it was bad. I was just kind of like, it's a movie that I greatly appreciate because it inspired like Boogie Nights, and I absolutely love Boogie Nights. But like, my goodness, I don't think it's great. Um, Sorry, you guys just reminded me. I do need to do a Jude Apatow ranking list. That I think would be really good. Uh, I know I'm doing a live stream and I'm just literally typing this in my phone. What are you gonna do, right? All right. So where do we get? Multi Danny Boy 89. Your most watched films this year. Um, that's the thing. In terms of most rewatched, like when you say rewatched movies, do you mean like movies that I've seen many times this year, or do you mean like just movies that I rewatched this year that I've seen so many times? Um, Skynet Jen, Hoyt Van Hoytman does great cinematography. No, absolutely agree. He also did the cinematography for Her, and the movie Her I think is amazing. His work in that was great. I think he got a cinematography nomination for that movie. I believe. Could be wrong about that though. Um, Sean Raymond, if you could watch any film of any time period in 70 millimeter theater, what would it be? Oh boy, that's a good question. Well, first of all, it has to be shot in 70 millimeter. So that kind of dwindles things down. I would love to see The Master. I wish that I saw The Master in theaters. I really do. Um, because now that movie's amazing, man. I would say either that or 2001: A Space Odyssey or The Tree of Life. Tom Collins, what's a better first date movie, Gone Girl or the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy? It depends. It depends on like how well you know them. Like if you guys were friends before and you have like a gauge on like their movie taste. Uh, I can tell you right now, my girlfriend and I, we've been dating for it's almost been 5 years. It's been over 4 years, well over that at this point. Our first date night movie was Nice Guys. It almost was The Lobster, and let me tell you, The Lobster was a mistake, but it's still a good movie. Um, let's see, Jacob Stanfield Nolan is a little bit overrated in my opinion. That's what everyone's been saying. Um, I agree. I do think his exposition is a bit much, but I do think that with when he is in full force, and I think it's something else entirely, man. Um, Charmaine, if you directed a film and you could pick any actor who would play your main supporting role. Um, if Daniel Day Lewis wasn't retired, I would say Daniel Day Lewis in the lead role. And in terms of supporting role, I would say, what is it? I would say I can't really think of who I would have as a supporting role. Probably like DiCaprio or maybe Brad Pitt, like one of those. I think that they work really well in terms of supporting roles. Multi Danny will 89 movies you watched the most times this year. So I haven't really seen movies multiple. I think Tenet. I've seen Tenet twice. I really haven't rewatched multiple movies this year. That I can think of off the top of my head at least. Let me quickly check Letterbox. I don't think I have though. But again, that's just because of I've tried to see many movies. Oh, I saw House. I saw that twice. I want to rewatch that again, man. That movie's amazing. I saw it twice. Saw it for the first time like a month or so ago, and then I rewatched it at my one friend's house again. That movie's great, man. I love that movie. Um, Incisor, my own movie, I saw twice. So a lot of movies I just saw twice. But nothing really like too substantial. A lot of movies I just rewatched like one time. Um, it's because I try to mix like rewatching movies and then with movies I haven't seen before. Nicola Peltex, The Lobster was a mistake. Okay, when I say The Lobster was a mistake, I meant that mistake to watch it with you. Especially at that point in time, like I hadn't shown you any other like art house movies. So and it's kind of funny too. I love how the fact that Yorgos Lanthimos, in my opinion, we've seen all three of his movies in theaters, and with each movie, you've liked his movies more and more. And I have too, honestly, because I think The Lobster's good, Killing the Sacred Deer is even better, and then The Favorite I think is amazing, really amazing. Um, Tom Collins, do you like Huey Lewis and the News? I actually haven't seen that. Jacob Stanfield, if you could do a True Detective 7 movie, which two actors would you cast? Um, that's a really good question. I would want it to be two out of the box actors, honestly, like two actors you wouldn't think would work well together. But like possibly could. I would say maybe Ewan McGregor. I think Ewan McGregor could do really good work. And I'm trying to think of the second actor that I would want. I don't know who the second actor would be. Actually, come to think about it, what the heck? Ewan McGregor and I would say maybe Kyle Chandler, which many of you probably don't even know who he is. He's usually in a lot of like smaller roles, but I feel like that would actually be pretty cool. Like I don't know, I could kind of see that. Casting's tough, man. Sean Raymond, what do you think is better, Michael Shannon or Marshall Ali? Marshall Ali. Oh man, that's tough. I love both. I think Michael Shannon did amazing work in Take Shelter. I liked him in Boardwalk Empire. I've liked him, I'll even say Man of Steel. Um, Marshall Ali, though, I think what he did in Moonlight was transcendent, man. Though, and I think that Green Book, whilst the movie is problematic, his performance is really good. I don't know. I don't know. I think that Michael Shannon maybe. I don't know. I don't know actually. Um, John Milholland, do you watch any movie fan YouTubers? You mean like people that are like fans of like my channel? Yeah, I watch Sergey, who I think you might still be watching Skynet Chen. I watch Carlos of Misfit Pawn, Larry of LC Screen Talk. So the people I have on my channel, I watch their content as well. I also I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any other major ones. Marvel fan 49, I think. I do watch his videos too, but he hasn't really seen that many. Well, he hasn't really done that many, I should say. John Mahan, have you seen Come and See? Yeah, Come and See. The whole big joke with my channel right now is that Come and See is a movie everyone's like, why did you rate it 3.5 on Letterboxd? And I always have to explain to them it's because I watched it on my friend's huge projector in like 360p quality. I've seen that the remaster apparently is really awesome, so I do want to rewatch it. And I'm sure when I do, everyone will be like, "Okay, now you can see how great it is." Sean Raymond, Tom Hardy, Ryan Gosling, hands down. Jacob Stanfield, I would choose Benicio del Toro and Colin Farrell. That would be awesome. John Mulholland seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Yes, I have. That's another one of those movies where people are like, "Well, why did you give it like 3.5 out of 5?" I gave it 3.5 out of 5 because I respect the filmmaking, but I do think that it is kind of dull. I remember the one time I was watching, my girlfriend came in and she's like, "There's like no music," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's no music," and I was like, "And there's no dialogue either." So it's like you're just watching these characters go about things, and like you respect the cinematography, you respect the acting, but I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch. I don't know. I'll take Carol or Call Me by Your Name over it. Nicola Peltakis, what's the most awkward thing you've ever watched with your parents? Oh boy. Oh gosh. Breakfast at Tiffany's was pretty awkward to watch with my parents. Um. I'm trying to think off the top of my head other movies. There've been so many awkward movies I watched with them. Um. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think off the top of my head now. Yeah, definitely that movie. Breakfast at Tiffany's was definitely like an awkward experience. I'm trying to think. trying to think. I know that there have been well, many other awkward ones. Let me check my letterbox. Let me see. Oh Brother Where Art Thou? I saw with my mom. That was kind of awkward. Like when the guy was shooting the. Actually, no, I didn't watch that with her. My mistake. Um, Let me take that back. So I'm just looking through movies I've rewatched recently. Mm, I can't think. I'm sorry. I can't think off the top of my head. Like what was the most awkward, or like some of the most awkward. I don't know. After a while, I just kind of like stopped watching movies with them because it was just kind of yeah, they weren't able to really appreciate them as much. At least I like to think, unfortunately. Oh, Mouse Hunt was pretty awkward. Actually, I saw when I saw Mouse Hunt, I was watching, and if any of you have seen Mouse Hunt, so a little quick story. I was supposed to go to church one night. This was what was this? This was like 9 years ago. I was supposed to go to church with them, and instead I was watching Mouse Hunt, and they came in during the one scene where the mouse went down like the one lady's shirt, and you can imagine the rest. They literally came in during that scene. That's a PG movie, so it was pretty interesting to say the least. I can't think of off the top of my head of other ones though, but trust me, there have been many. Um, Tom Collins, I think Jake Gyllenhaal and Joaquin Phoenix would be cool. That'd be amazing. Um, John Mulholland, Ewan McGregor is underrated. Yes, he is. Kyle Chandler would be great. Absolutely. Sean Raymond, what movie has made you cry? Green Mile and Million Dollar Baby. And Dead Poet Society recently, upon rewatch, the ending scene did, get me a little tearful. Um, Call Me by Your Name, the last minute or so does, make me almost want to tear up. And same with Moonlight. Moonlight is a very emotional movie. Like when I watch that movie, it's definitely an experience. Um, Jacob Staple, I saw Nice Guys with my parents. Yeah, my parents were very strict, so like I couldn't watch any R-rated movies with them, like at all. So it's hard to think of like PG-13 movies or like PG movies that were like awkward watching with them. Especially because violence didn't really bother them as much. It was mostly nudity. So I'm trying to think of movies with nudity that were PG-13 or PG off the top of my head that might have been awkward watching with them. From my memory, of course. Um, John Mahalan, but Letterbox made the stars fire for Portrait Lane Fire. How could you not get fired? Yeah, I know. So many people love that movie. I get it. I get it. It's a beautiful movie. Maybe I'll rewatch it. Maybe I'll love it even more. I know it has like a couple hundred views on my like in terms of my review, but it's like 4 star, four people liked it, 4 people disliked it. So I'm like, all right, film buffs are out to get me. Maybe I'll rewatch it. Moonlight, I originally gave a 4 to 5, and now it's my favorite movie of the decade of 2010. So people change. Um, John Mahal, my mom took me to see Titanic when it came out when I was 7. I'm sure that was way more awkward for her. I loved it and became a little obsessed with Titanic. Um, yeah, see, I didn't watch Titanic with my parents because they knew about like the nudity. Like I said, they with nudity, they weren't the biggest fan of it. So I didn't watch that with them. I didn't watch that. I actually watched it by myself. I think I was like 18, and I thought it was like solid. But then I rewatched it last year, and I actually really dig that movie. I actually own that movie. I do like it. But I'm still trying to think of awkward movies. Yeah, I definitely like. I remember Breakfast at Tiffany's was very awkward to watch with them. 2001: A Space Odyssey was. I don't want to say it wasn't like bad in terms of like awkwardness, but it was awkward because like they just didn't really appreciate it. So like that was like I had rewatched it multiple times at that point and still didn't like love it, but I remember watching it. And same with Tree of Life. Um, let's see, John Mahan. Oh wait, Skynet Gen. The new Ammonite film is basically Portrait on Fire. I don't think I've seen the Ammonite film. Let me look that up. Uh, Sorry, just taking a quick detour to look in. Oh, it hasn't come out yet. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Portrait of the Fire. Like I said, I get why people love it so much. Maybe I'll rewatch it soon. You know, it's fine. Like if you don't like, it's fine. You know, I always say it's fine if you don't like a movie or aren't a big fan of it. But sometimes I do watch something and I'm like, I should probably rewatch that soon. Like that's kind of my thoughts with the devil all the time. Because the first half I was kind of like I felt bored, and then Robert Pattinson all of a sudden was on screen. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like I love that southern accent of his, and I felt like a lot of stuff kind of like recontextualized. I don't know. Like I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but who knows? Maybe I'll like it even more. Um, John Mulholland, yeah, sounds similar, perhaps less joyful. Those are the best LGBTQ movies, man. I think at least those are the movies that like I don't know, and it's not even just with LGBTQ movies. It's also with just romances in general. I always like those ones that are more serious. I feel like those are the ones that really make you think the most. Like in terms of romances, Eternal Sunshine, Spotless Mind, Her. Those are movies that kind of end hopeful, but really don't, because you kind of are able to put two and two together with what's going to happen. Um, it's a strange world. It's a strange world, man. It really is. Star Saoirse Ronan and Kate Winslet in a period piece. Oh man, that'd be awesome. I love both actresses, man. I really do. Kate Winslet's top three for sure, and Saoirse Ronan's up there as well. Um, Saoirse Ronan, it's crazy because I've pretty much seen her throughout my entire life. I mean, she's someone that it's crazy to think that like she's my age and she's done so many movies. She's got nominated for so many Oscars. It's amazing. John Mulholland, have you seen High Life? Yeah, man, that's a good movie. High Life's a good movie. That would be awkward watching with parents for sure. um, Skynet Jen, they would both be Ammonite. Let me look this up. I actually got to look this up for real. What's going on? Like I said, I'm out of the loop with movie news, so I'm just like, oh, I think I saw. I didn't see the trailer. I think I saw like the picture for it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. Okay, my mistake. Yeah, so they're both in it. Oh wow, this movie looks amazing. Interesting. That's awesome. It's coming out November 13th. I hope it makes it into theaters. Um, John Mulholland. Speaking of Robert Pattinson, yeah, I love Robert Pattinson. What can I say? I think he's a very talented actor. Um, I did things kind of backwards. Like, I didn't get to have that experience of watching the Twilight movies and then see how great he is. I saw how great he is. Then I saw the Twilight movies and I was like, oh man, he really he really transformed as an actor. Like even in the Twilight movies, like I remember when I was watching them, I think it was about 7 months ago. I remember watching it, I was just kind of thinking, I was like, I could definitely see why he's going to be great as Batman. Like I've said day one that ever since the news came out that he would be a great Batman, and like even in the Twilight movies, you can definitely see that he has so much range. Um, I watched High Life when I heard RBG died, and it ended up being pretty surreal and depressing. Yeah, man. Considering that movie is literally all about just being alone, not really having others around you in the slightest, as well as just coming to terms with your own morality. I get that. I didn't love Highlight. I liked it. I did feel like the pacing was a bit muted, but I still respect it. I still respect it for sure. Um, but yeah, so I'll be wrapping things up, guys. So if there's any last questions, ask away. But I'll be wrapping things up because I got to get back to editing and whatnot. Also, the RVG that is sad with what happened. I didn't like comment or anything on what's it called on like social media, but it is really sad. Jake Review 71. Oh wow, you unfortunately saw Gotti. Yeah, that movie was terrible. Grand Budapest Hotel, yeah, 5 out of 5, amazing movie. Raiders Lost Ark, Fight Club, Cinema Producer, Children. All right, those movies are amazing. I know they're not your top four as stated, but they are amazing movies. I'm looking forward to watching Cinema Paradiso, like rewatching it when it comes out in 4K. John Mulholland, I've heard M Night is a rather minimalist and joyless, but I'm sure it will work for me somehow. Yeah, maybe I'll watch the trailer. Maybe I'll finally start getting back to watching movie trailers. Um, this Oscar season is going to be pretty interesting. I mean, it's interesting to say the least. But all right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to wrap it up. If you guys have any further questions, feel free to ask either in the comment section once I end it. Also, like I said, you guys know everything that's going to be coming out soon. I appreciate your guys' support, and I'll try to do another live stream very shortly. And if those of you aren't subscribed, think about doing so, and I will catch you guys later.